I'll try. Oh yeah, I also wanted to point out my amazing tool called Pattern, or PRT. These are some of the most advanced tools I ever made. I'm actually going to be selling this to quants for millions of dollars, but you could try it for now on Godel. But I'm really not planning on keeping this up forever on this. But for now, you can use it for sure. I don't know if I've changed my mind. Oh yeah, Larimer is the other one. I had some P&L sheet here. Let me see if I can find it. I showed two quant specialists so far, and they were both like, huh? What does this do? I don't understand. And I was like, you'll never understand. I took it back. I just can't, I don't remember what I called this fucking file. Let me see. Port, maybe port. Yes, found it. Okay, so the way it works, pay attention. It's a vector search. So you load the portfolio in here. This is actually a pain in the ass. I'm gonna fix this in V2 where you have to actually enter the list of stocks. And so I just pasted, get a good list of stocks together, but I just pasted 700 large caps, or 700 biggest stocks, whatever. And then what you do is you click run, and this part's a little complicated. This is where it gets complicated. But basically, the long story short is it suggests you these trades. So for example, right now it says long Corteva. Oh, wait. I changed its mind. Yeah. Long Corteva, short Weight Watchers. Oh, what? Weight Watchers is gone already. Oh no, it's Willers Towers Watson. So it says short WTW. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to short a tiny bit of WTW just to show you that I like this system. I like trading with it. 33566. 33566. Okay. I guess I can work on this today. And then it says short FRHC. I don't even know what this is. Called Freedom Holding. Is this? Oh, is this what the hell is Freedom Holding? Kazakhstan? Okay. I'll short that on GP. That's called Freedom Holding FRHC. And I'll show you how the algorithm works in a second, but let me just put these orders in. Oh, my ATYR shenanigans have this thing all upset. And then what else do I have here? Short Baxter, BAX, the healthcare company. $23.69. Okay, and then it says short LNW. And I'll explain, like I said, in 1 second what the heck it is. Let me get these orders in. Short LNW 90 spot 12. Okay, and finally it says long Corteva, CTVA. So I'll buy some of that. 71 spot 55. So what is the system doing? Let me show you. Okay. So this system is a derivative of the system called PAT. So this is what PAT looks like. Looks fancy, right? Well, it's pretty simple. PAT is a new way to do stock charts. This is a brand new, like, it should change everything about investing, to be honest. I'm not understating that. So I click now, and what it does is it's going to take the last 30 minutes of a stock, okay? So let me pick open, because I know a lot of people care about open. And so this is the last, it's still kind of a work in progress, so bear with me. So I'm sure I'm getting some kind of error or something. Let's see. Okay. So this is open. Okay. So this is open, which is open door. Let's check actually to see if this is the exact shape. Yeah, so this is the last 30 minutes. And you can see that that's what that chart looks like. Do you see on the bottom? I like kind of scrunch it. It's the same pattern. Yes or no? So this is the intraday chart of open. Do you see that? Same shape, right? So it's like superimposed, right? Everybody see that? Great. So what this does is it looks in history of the stock market, and it says what are the closest Euclidean distance, or just the closest pattern. And you see all these little superimposed patterns are the closest pattern. What's interesting is it's telling you that the probability of the stock being up in the next 10 minutes is 50-50. Why is it 50-50? Well, the mean return of the 20 closest neighbors. So these are the 20 closest matches. And if somebody looked at this and said, well, I really think this is bullish. Well, the average 20 patterns that are the closest actually did not have a positive return. It's actually a negative return. And you can see all the statistics here. And in fact, if you click here, you can see all the matches. Some of the closest matches go back 25 years ago. A company called Myriad Genetics had the same match. And that stock was down 1% at 10 minutes. It's one of these lines. Now, if I want to see the 200 closest neighbors, I can do that as well. I just click run, and it returns really quickly. And again, the mean expected return is negative. So this is like an automated statistical arbitrage tool. It's a vector search. I think that you can look at median. There's standard deviation there. Gives you the probability distribution. You can make a lot of different adjustments. Like I have softmax here. You might want to try uniform instead. How many neighbors do you want to, graph? There's a lot of different, ways to do it. There's 60 neighbors. You can see it's kind of a real thick John there. So in any event, there's a lot of ways to do this analysis. Like maybe you want to see 2,000, the 2,000 closest. The funny thing about this is, guess how many vectors are in the database? Guess how many shapes are in there? Yeah, we're working on longer time frames and shorter time frames, including second to second time frames, which are going to be really fun. Yeah, you can use this tool on Godel, godelterminal.com. Yeah, you could do SPY as well. Yeah, it's 6 billion vectors. And they're all in RAM, which is really wild. So I'm proud of my little engineering. So we're going to update that to hopefully a little under 1 trillion vectors. And it actually sorts 6 billion vectors in 20, 30 milliseconds. So I think that the backtest idea here is that this isn't yet a backtesting platform. It will be shortly. This is just a vector search. So this forms the basis for a good backtesting platform. So the question on backtesting is, what is your strategy, right? This is just data. So there's not actually a strategy implicit here. The question is, what what strategy do you want to make out of it? Like, and that's where PRT comes in. So what PRT is doing, the reason I started with this is really interesting. So I took 700 stocks, right? And what PRT does is it's running all 700 at once, right? So PRT is behind the scenes doing PAT on 700 different stocks, okay? And it's ranking the ones that have the highest probabilities and the highest likelihoods of success. This won't be free for long, but if you try it on Godel, you can try it right now for free at godelterminal.com. Like I said, I'm planning on selling this to the big quant firms who I've already talked to. But give it a shot before. It's very computationally intensive. Yes, it runs on a cluster of H100s. You can backtest by actually using this tool, but you're not going to use the real time. So if you want to go backwards in time, you can backtest that way. It's just, an H100 rig, Python. Well, I can't give it to you for free if Citadel's were willing to pay millions for it. So, but regardless, so yeah, so if you run, put in if you just care about, let's say you just care about 5 stocks, Palantir, Open, Joby, these shitbird stocks. I'm kidding, Palantir is a good stock actually. Nvidia, I don't know what other memes are there, HIMS, and you hit run, it'll run really fast and it'll just say, okay, HIMS short, Nvidia short, Open short, Joby long, Palantir short, ACHR short. But the edge, it's 5 times more, or it's like 3 times more confident on HIMS than any other ones, short HIMS. Right, so you can kind of decide what search space to use. I use this 700 stock list, and it's, like I said, it's running PAT on every single one of these, and it's very, very large amounts of calculations. So it's searching through billions of combinations. Yeah, I mean, you just can copy and paste an S&P 500 list, Amir, but yeah, I'll make it a drop down where you can just paste it. But yeah, it likes wing spot a lot here. So you can obviously make an automated trading strategy out of this. Like, so for example, one of the things I've considered doing is turning it to like an API. So you can decide, okay, wing stop 273.82. All right, let's see how my Weight Watchers is doing. Weight Watchers is up since I shorted it. How about Baxter? Flat. LNW. What is LNW anyway? Light and Wonder. $8 billion company. So these are all like relatively large cap stocks. All right, so we'll see how this goes. Obviously, if you do it over a few trades, it's not necessarily going to be right every time. There's nothing that's right every time. But I do think it gives you a small edge, and will actually be fairly profitable over time. And I've used it so far to make some money. But I do think you have to use it for lots of trades at once, which is why I think connecting it to an API or something like that is going to be the main idea, because you really have thousands of ideas coming at you every second. So you maybe, like I said, take the top few ones that you like and things like that. Quants do obviously write their own code, but software is something where it's a matter of standing up resources, and sometimes it's easier to buy instead of build. These are, yeah, really, really short-term trades. Yeah, yeah. Towers Watson was obviously not Weight Watchers. A long time ago, I think WTW was Weight Watchers. Then it went to WW, but I don't know for sure. So anyway, we're releasing lots of really cool tools like this that aren't available, quite frankly, on Bloomberg or anywhere else. So even though Godel is cheaper than Bloomberg, it has tools like that aren't on Bloomberg. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, Panda. I mean, it's one of these things where the statistics are also, you have to consider the beta. So like, if the market's going up, this is why quantitative investing is usually done by professionals, because if you just get that little uptick and you're only short, you're going to see some pretty rough performance. So you got to make sure you do longs and shorts pretty equally. And like I said, the advantages are small. They're all over time. They're not going to be, instant profits all the time, every day. It's across, cross sections of like lots of minutes. So like if you do, remember there's 390 minutes in a day of trading. So if it'll give you those 700 scored kind of best scores every minute. So you get 390 trades portfolios basically a day. And, you'll be right, say 55% of the time. And that means that, the average is sort of a coin flip, but over the long haul, you'll see the results. No API yet, but yeah, I'm talking a long, long time ago, Garb. It doesn't do crypto yet, but that'll be in the next version. What I want to do is, as well, is so-called self-similarity. So what you can do is you could just say, just compare it to itself. So Pat doesn't do that, but PRT would do that. So you just say, just compare me to SPY. SPY on SPY. And that's kind of another neat way to look at it, is like SPY is the only, I just want to compare SPY to itself. And if you're a futures trader, I don't know how you could do it without this. I think hedge funds would be liquidating their ATYR positions with, over several days, depending on how much you have. But like, obviously, it's liquid. 109 million shares have traded. So even if you had a $20 million position, or more, right? Because it was at $5. So if you had 4 million shares, basically get out in an hour. Yeah. So I'm also going to make it so that it just updates, maybe it tallies. But yeah, it seems to be bearish on the S&P. But again, we'll keep kind of thinking about it and growing this platform. We have so many new things coming to Godel. It's really exciting. We're the only platform that has private prices, which is really neat. So there's OpenAI's stock chart, for example. I think it'll be closer to 600 pretty soon, actually. So I like it a lot. What else? There's SpaceX. SpaceX is just SPAC. It's like space. We have that at 228.70. These are privately held companies that trade kind of hand to hand, OTC, and on NASDAQ private. I think we have 300 or 400 privates. And we're going to try to facilitate trading with them, but we'll see. Yes, Anthony. right? Yeah, Waymo's probably undervalued, I think. Yeah, of course, Sender. We're very different products for now. Bloomberg is a very good software platform, but it's not really being designed by people that are in the markets like I am, or have really been in the markets, quite frankly. It's a lot of people that are like second tier people, quite frankly, because Mike doesn't really give any equity out. He owns all the equity of Bloomberg himself, which is, kind of absurd. You're not going to get talented people if you don't give them some upside. But we're a new company. They're a 45-year-old company, so give us a little time and we'll make sure we excel. Yeah, Godel is not for new investors or people who are not on Wall Street, quite frankly. So it's really not meant for retail investors. It's meant for people who are really advanced and trade for a living.